What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Am I in focus? Hold on, let me check. There you go. Sorry about that. My eyes are leaking. I got some allergies. Anyway, show must go on. So, Project Helix, the Xbox Helix. You know what I'm saying? That's popping off. Donkey, unicorns, and ponies don't know how to act. So we're not going to talk about them right now, but we're going to go through what these things mean. Because a lot of people were reading the stuff, and they're just kind of reading the stuff, but they're not going into what it means as a console person, as a geek, as a tech head or whatever. I'm not super tech head, but, I understand some of it. So let's go. Let's see where it takes us. So Project Helix Innovation plays your Xbox console and PC games. Let's stop right there real quick. The fact that these Donkey Unicorns and Ponies keep calling it a PC is disingenuous because it's a console that can play PC games. It's a console that can do something else. It's a console that can do other things. Now, I know it's a foreign kind of idea to some of you. And some of you are so ingrained, indoctrinated in the fact that a PC is this, a console is this. None two, the two shall twine or meet or whatever. But, like I said, I plan on doing a video about this eventually. It's one of those timeless things, so I can take my time with it, but I still need to do it because a lot of people still think that a console and a PC are two different things. And when reality, some people, I've heard them out there on the internet, they're saying the right words. They're saying a console is just a gimped PC. A console is just a limited PC that you can't do anything but play games on. So if you've got a $5,000 PC, right? And you put it in a nice little package, it's still the PC, right? The PC that you bought, it's got graphics cards, got all this stuff, right? But then you put an OS on it that limits you to what you can do on it. You can only play, let's say, Xbox games on it. You can only play Nintendo Switch games on it. What is it? Is it a PC? You can't do PC things on it because it's locked down. So is it a PC? Is it a console? What is it? Right? The operating system ultimately, dictates what the thing is. But I think what people are missing is that the evolution of video games, the evolution of the console. The first console was Atari 26. Okay, that's not true. But let's just say for this argument, the first console, 2600. Atari 2600. The Atari VCS. I went through this before. VCS stands for what? Video Computer System. Computer System. Computer System. They called the earlier video game systems Computer System. Did you know that Sony was Sony Computer Interactive Entertainment? Did you know that computer was in the title? Did you know that? Yes, of course you knew that because they're all computers. Anyway, the fact that this new console has the ability to play PC games changes the game. It makes whatever PlayStation is doing obsolete. It makes it inferior automatically because, as we understand it, the next PlayStation 6 is not going to do that. So already it's inferior. Not to mention the fact that the actual hardware itself is inferior. So guess what? You're going to pay an inferior price. You're going to pay budget price for your budget console that can do budget things. You can't do all the things that you would want to do. And a lot of console people are like, "Oh, I don't want to play PC game. Oh, I don't want to deal with the PC." Blah, blah, blah. You have no idea what you're talking about because you do not understand the depth of variety that exists on PC. I've dipped into it slightly and I'm scared because it's so, you can get lost. You go in Steam and you can doom scroll in Steam, put it that way. I'm like, I And the games are so cheap, it's ridiculous. If you thought you had a lot of games on your PlayStation, no. And so Xbox is gonna have 1,500 games in their backwards compatible thingy thing, and we're gonna read on that a little bit later. That plus their current games plus all the PC games. You know how Nintendo won the NES generation, besides actually being evil, besides like locking down all the exclusives and stuff, besides their arcane business practices, not arcane, archaic, that's the word, archaic business practices. They had all the games. The rhetoric was Nintendo has all the games. Nintendo has more games. The NES has more games, so it's better. That's what it was. And honestly, that's still part of the whole console war feeling. It's still there. Donkey Unicorns and Ponies try to kind of shift and say, "Oh, our games are better, quality over quantity." But they say everything. They're moving the goalposts so much that I need to put a GIF or something with somebody that has goalposts in their book pack and they're just running around, because that's all they're doing. Anyway, let's keep moving. We get to the first sentence. We're not even. Let's keep moving. All right. So, powered by custom AMD SoC. Sure. That's cool. Co-design for next generation DirectX. Cool. Next gen ray tracing performance and capabilities. GPU direct work graph execution. Okay. Most of that is just like, okay, cool. Next gen DirectX. Cool. Ray tracing performance capability. Next gen better ray tracing, and also something that doesn't exist on current consoles, path tracing. Now, a lot of you, I think we're gonna have. Is it? Oh yeah, it's down there. So we'll get to that later. But the GPU direct work graph execution, I didn't know what that meant initially, but then I heard them explain it. I heard Jason Ronald explain it. And basically, paraphrasing, of course, because I'm not as smart as him, basically it alleviates the bottleneck that a CPU would have if it were to get to that point, whereas the CPU is going to bottleneck, the GPU will take some of that work. It has its own processing to do the calculations, whether it's physics or whatever. So it can offload some of that work that the CPU would have to do all, but now the GPU can do it, and so that there would be no CPU bottlenecking. So like AI routines and all that stuff won't get interrupted. No frame rate jumps because of the bottlenecking and all that stuff. So that's cool. That's like, all right, that sounds like some smart, developer designer type of stuff that should be in like every console going forward, right? Anyway, let's keep it moving. AMD FSR Next plus Project Helix. Built for the next generation of neural rendering. Next generation ML upscaling. New ML multi-frame generation. Next gen ray regeneration for RT and path tracing. Okay, so let's take it line by line. Now, first of all, FSR, they have something called Diamond. I don't know if we'll get to it. I don't know if it's in any of these slides, but Diamond. Shine bright like a diamond, son. Xbox is shining bright like a diamond. They already have the diamond achievement. Now they literally have diamonds inside the console. Ding! Diamond. So built for next gen neural rendering. That's just a fancy way to say AI upscaling, ML. They're smart in that there's no AI verbiage in any of this. ML is machine learning. It's AI. That's what that is. But that's what the Pissertech potato. That's what Pissertech is AI. If y'all didn't know, that's supposed to be machine learning. I got a video coming up with that. Resident Evil 9, Pissertech 2, Pissertech. That's another video. Wow. Anyway, so upscaling, sure. So it'll be better upscaling. I believe they're actually implementing the FSR Diamond or Next, whatever they're calling it. It's one past not Redstone. What was it called? Something Stone. Is it Redstone? Might be Redstone. But it's the next step So it's not FSR4. It's not Redstone or whatever. It's the next one, Diamond. Let's just call it Diamond. And so I'm like, that's cool. So is it up to snuff to DLSS, the latest DLSS? Who knows? But I mean, it's they catching up. So new ML multi-frame generation. I have a thing about that, and it's cool. It's novel. It's cute, but ultimately it doesn't help gameplay because when you do frame generation, it doesn't improve the frames of your controls. So if it's native 30 frames per second per se, so let's just say, right, and you're controlling it and it controls at 30 frames per second, and you put ML frame generation on it to 60, 120, whatever, it's still gonna react and move and control at 30 frames. And so that's where the kind of disconnect happens. So some people are like, wait, it feels laggy, because it literally is laggy because you're seeing a higher refresh rate, but you're not feeling it through the controls. And that's where I have the problem with it. I mean, if it's from 30 to, if you're like at 60 and you pump it up to 120, I'm like, okay, 60 is good enough so that your control is pretty good. So it's pluses and minuses. It's cool that it's there, but it's not a deal breaker for me. So that game over. Next gen ray generation for RT and path tracing. Okay. So ray tracing has been a buzzword that they've been using all this generation, and it's kind of been used not very well. Sony tried to use it for reflections and like some shadows, or reflections is probably one of the better, but I think global illumination is the more impressive use of ray tracing. But people, of course, don't understand. Well, they can't implement ray tracing on all, not this generation anyway. There's not enough power to do it for everything, right? And if y'all didn't know, path tracing is better than ray tracing. It's a different way to do a similar thing, but path tracing is more accurate. And path tracing comes, I believe that the path starts from the actual camera. And then it shoots out the rays from the camera, from wherever the scene, wherever you're looking from, and it bounces through the calculation and comes back. And ray tracing is the opposite. I guess it goes from the lights and it traces the path. I forgot how I saw it in I think it was a Pixar behind the scenes or something, because Pixar was one of the first companies, I believe, to do path tracing in their old animation, I mean, like early Pixar stuff had path tracing in it, and I'm like, that's how long it's been around. But it's so intensive as far as the systems that it takes them forever to render it, obviously. So doing it real time is cool. We'll see how ray regeneration works. That's one thing I have no idea, because I'm like, okay, I know they do frame generation, they do all these things, ML generation, like ray regeneration. I'm like, I haven't really heard of that concept, and I don't understand. I haven't seen any examples of it yet. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna like tout it like it's the best thing that's ever been created, because I don't know what it is. But if they can get it to work and it'll improve, it's really just to improve the look of the game. It doesn't give you any performance enhancements or anything. So if it's all about performance with you, you don't care about ray tracing. You turn it off, you just get 1,000 frames per second and keep it moving. But the closer we get to kind of reality, it's kind of cool to see what they do with that power. That's all I'll say. Okay, next, deep texture compression, neural texture compression, and direct storage plus ZSTD. I don't know what ZSTD is. Sounds dirty. Direct storage is something that's in consoles, but I think they put that here for the console itself, yes, but also the fact that this console will be playing PC games. See, that's the thing. People are just, they're so dumb. So what Xbox is doing basically is they're bridging the gap between console and PC, and specifically the Xbox Series X console and PC. And things like quick resume, things like direct storage, they've been working on that for PC for a while. And that started it with the console. I think PlayStation has their own version of it, but I'm not sure what it's called, if they have it. but it's if you don't know what direct storage is, it's the ability to take data directly from the SSD, and it's instead of routing it through the RAM and through all that stuff, so it's quicker. It's just it saves on speed and all the things. Bottleneck. It doesn't, it alleviates a lot of processing and stuff. Neural texture compression, it's just ML, you know, texture. I mean, it's self-explanatory. So we just have to see how well it works. That's all. Because we know that the Pisser tech, whatever they're doing with all the sparkle tech, I don't know what you want to call it, but them shadows be dancing shadows tech. I don't know what it's called, but anyways, it's bad. Let's see. All right, so we got that one, and this is the same thing except it's a different, smaller, and we'll go to your boy Jason Ronald says things. So this whole thing, it's a lot of not top level, but surface level words. Yeah, it's not a lot of in-depth stuff that I want to kind of understand. I have questions about different aspects of what he said and what they presented. But I think pretty much that first slide there kind of covered the basics. But there's going to be plenty of other information to come out this week. That's what they said anyway. So I haven't checked today, so I am about a day behind. I've been yeah. Anyway, what was it? DirectX FSR to unlock something. Yeah, so it's basically, he's kind of just talking to the devs, talking about, how what they're doing is going to be cool and stuff, and basically, let me go back to this other one because it looks prettier. Basically, the what they're doing is enabling devs to make one code, basically, and that has to do with the GDK, and I forgot what he had said about it specifically, but basically, paraphrasing, of course, with their new GDK or XDK, I don't know which one is which. The devs will be able to excuse me, they'll be able to just make one game, and through the GDK they can spit out what version they need to, basically. Once again, I'm simplifying it, but that is what I got from what they were saying. So it's you make one game and it goes to all these places. They had another chart. I don't know where that chart was, but it showed like the different boop boop, it goes here, boom boom boom, and it just spit it out. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And that's that. They've been working on that for at least 2 generations. I mean, they say, yeah, because Project Helix came around in 2016, I believe. I mean, a couple of years after Phil got into office, if you will. And so, everybody, it's hilarious. It's kind of funny that it's like, oh yeah, we're Project Helix. Oh man, it's some new stuff. It's like, it's not new. They've been kind of trying to do it for. They've said about this, like the WAP, whatever the, not WP, the UWP, whatever that thing was, where it's like, oh, Universal Windows app or something, or whatever. They've been trying to do it for a while, but I think they're changing their approach, and they're really trying to get in with the devs. And I think that this direction where you say, okay, you just make the game for PC, you spit it through the GDK, boom, done. For just simplify it. Meanwhile, on PlayStation, yeah, you got to make 2 versions if you want to be on PC. And the whole PlayStation's pulling back from PC. Oh, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, y'all are so desperate to not lose that you will say anything. That's not good. You should probably just take what you're given, which isn't that much, because I think we have a date for Wolverine, but I have I have my faith in PlayStation as a company to make games has been diminishing every failure that they put out. I mean, Marathon is on life support. I don't know if it's on life support, but it's getting a cold. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get admitted to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's and it's not even like a thing where it's like, oh, let's just pick on Sony's live service attempts. I mean, that's it too, but it's the industry wide. You can't make a live service game right now and expect it to be a automatic 100% success. That's not how. You look at Sea of Thieves. Remember Sea of Thieves? It was not finished when it launched. I played it when it launched. I was like, it's like the same for me. It's gotten better, but it's still not for me because it's just the type of game that is not for me. I mean, in a different mindset, I think I would be like, I just want to chill. I just want to sail. I want to dig around, find some treasure. Yeah, I'd go in the happy servers where there's like no killing and stuff, no stealing. I don't know if they have those, but I would assume they do. I'd go in. I think they do have single player servers where we could just do the missions and stuff. But yeah, that game took years for it to get where it is now. You know, and the fact that Microsoft and Xbox have the insight or the foresight more so to keep supporting something that they believe in. And the problem with PlayStation and the problem with Tencent is that they are now, well, PlayStation more so, Tencent probably has always been, they are controlled by money people. They don't have people who are making these decisions that have any type of compassion or reverence for games. It's about money. It's about the product. It's about, we made this product A. We put product A on the market. Product A has to perform at this percentage in this time frame, or we're cutting it. It's a simple formula for them. They have no feelings, no nothing. Which, look, some people say, "Yo, it's business." That's cool. I mean, some business has to be like that. But when you imagine if Gabe did that, right? Gabe and said, "Yo, Steam, yeah, I'm doing this thing at Steam and put the games on it, blah 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 blah, right? We're gonna have Half-Life. I think Half-Life 2 launched with Steam. I can't remember what game launched with Steam, but when Steam launched, everyone hated Steam. Steam was trash. I remember. I was like, glad I'm not a PC gamer. I went right back to my, what was that? Xbox 360. I think Steam. When did Steam launch? 2005, 6, 5. It was the early 2000s. I don't remember, but yeah. I mean, and if Gabe would have said, we didn't make it in the first 6 months, let's just quit. Let's close it down. There would be no Steam right now. But he's like, no, we're going to keep it moving. Let's go. What we needed to do, what they say? Okay, we're gonna okay, let's change that. Make it better. What they saying now? They like it? Okay. What else they saying? Okay, let's change that too. You got to, and it's not about listening to all the voices or the loudest voices, or you have to take in the criticisms and you say, okay, yeah, you know what? They're right. That makes sense. You know, you may have some meetings, you come to a consensus, you take the business part and you put it to the side for a second and say, okay, what? Because the gamers aren't sitting there like, oh, but it's going to make a lot of money, so I don't care if it sucks. The Valve's making money, so that's good. That's what PlayStation ponies do. They sit there, oh, but they're making money. Oh, they're successful. Look how many consoles they sold. Meanwhile, they bending you over, and you're taking it. They don't care about you, and you don't care that they don't care about you. That's the problem. That's your problem. That's not my problem, because I don't mess with them. I don't F with them. Nope. My shirt may be blue, but I am true. My heart is green, just like the back screen right here. You can't see it because it's screen. So yeah. But anyway, it's exciting now because we don't know what's going on. It's like, I don't know if we've had this type of excitement for a while because it's kind of been an iterative generation process for ever since PS4, Xbox One generation, and PS4. Ever since then, it's been okay. Boom, boom. Excuse me. Just choking. So it's been iterative since then, like boom, and that's when they switched to AMD. That's when they both switched to AMD, so they were like similar. And that's where I think we don't see the difference because they're so similar that they're basically the same boxes. And then the war became about perception. Like Dirt said today, I think it was today. He was talking about it's about perception. I've said that. I've been saying that for forever. That's Sony's whole game, perception. And they've been winning the perception war for ever since Xbox One kind of failed in that. And so you know, it's something that needs to be adjusted, and they are. Like, Asha just started a month ago, something like that. It's her first GDC, right? I mean, I haven't seen her speak at GDC. It's just been Jason Ronald, which is cool because that's his baby, that's his thing, right? And right now, they haven't stepped on any rakes, if you will, right, Maddie? Right. All the redheads that talk about Xbox, that's supposed to be Xbox people. All the redheads out there, you know who you are. And if I'm offending any redheads that I'm not referring to, then I apologize. But I'm speaking on two specific redheads, not Magic Mike, not Snowbike Mike. Okay, he's cool. But Mad Blaze and Ryan McCaffrey, the two redhead, they're twins. They're Humpty and Dumpty. Then it makes sense. So they sit out there and they do the doubt and they say, I mean, what's going on? Is that And I'm like, how? I mean, look, you used to run an Xbox magazine, and how have you fallen so far from? I'm talking about Ryan McCaffrey. How have you fallen so far from? I think what happened when he went to IGN and he left. Was it Xbox OEM X? I forgot what it's called. The magazine before, but it was him and his partner. They used to do the podcast, and it was cool because it was him, and they were talking, and it was funny. And the other dude actually left. I think he went to Activision at one point or something. I don't remember. I don't know if he's in gaming anymore, but I liked him. He was. I totally forgot his name. Sorry, apologize. But I'm like, look, this perception game that has been happening is. Ever since Asha stepped into the scene and Phil and Sarah disappeared, and this is an Xbox, it has been eradicated from all literature. But especially on the website, on the Xbox website, they took it all out, right? I'm already feeling a difference in just how people are talking about it. I pulled up Xbox Helix, right? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for the different, clips or whatever. And I see all these magazines that are usually like Xbox is doo-doo, Xbox is dead, blah, 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 right? But now they're like, oh my gosh, the new Xbox, the next generation Xbox is here. Xbox Helix, the next gen Xbox console. I'm like, what happened? Was there a spell? Was Wanda have a spell? Did Wanda have a spell on everyone? And then Sarah came and said, slap, slap. I slapped Wanda. Now Wanda's taking a nap. And Asha, did I say Sarah? Asha is here like, yo, boosh, clarity. And so like, oh. And they say, oh, Helix, oh. Because I think I saw one website that was talking about, oh, the next PlayStation, but that was like 3 weeks ago. So I'm like, oh, they're trying real hard to counter message, but they can't because they got nothing. They got no nothing. They have no info because Sony don't say nothing. They're not gonna say nothing because they ain't got nothing. And when they say something, it's gonna be less than what you're seeing now. And see, what I like about what they're doing, they didn't give us specifics, right? They didn't say, okay, it's this fast and it's that fast, and I think, I mean, Asha, like I said, Asha is very intelligent. She's very smart. Not saying that Sarah and Phil weren't, but I think she's on a different level. Like, you know, corporate espionage, like looking out like we ain't gonna give them nothing. They get nothing. They're gonna have no fuel to combat us. And so you see all these things that they're putting out here, right? It's all, there's no numbers. There's no, you know, there's no values. You can't predict how fast it will be. You can't calculate based off of, oh, the clock speed is this. And no, they didn't tell you nothing. But they did tell you something. They said, yo, it's going to have this. I think they did give numbers. Oh, it's 6 times, 12 times performance, or not even that. He said I forgot what the language was. Wow. But a factor of multitude, of factorness of of power or whatever. And I'm like, cool. They're not giving out all the information, because what Sony does, and I'm sure Asha understands this, and I'm sure a lot of people at Xbox understand this. When Xbox puts out information, and it's pertinent information, it's information that gives a little bit more insight into the actual hardware, then Sony's going to sit there and they're going to readjust, and they're going to say, oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to overclock our CPU and GPU so that we can kind of be in the same ballpark that the Series X is in. That's what happened. They found out the specs and they said, oh, snap, our console's way weaker. We got to do something. And so they overclocked it and put liquid metal in it. And so now all the PlayStation 5s are going to fail because liquid metal does not last as long as thermal paste, just to let you know. It's going to leak out. It's going to crust out. Yeah, PlayStation's going to melt. Just letting you know, unless you got it laid down. If you got it stood up, good luck, bro. Or lady. But anyway, I'm sorry. I went on a tangent and I'm running long. So, but I appreciate y'all hanging out, showing, listening, like and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the kind of first glimpse of what Xbox is cooking up for the next console that can play PC games. Now, I have not heard, I have not listened, and that's my bad. I haven't kept up with the people in the community. I apologize. I do want to see what Paris has to say about this, because even though we had a disagreement about the whole concept of consoles and the handheld and all that stuff, I still value his judgment and his opinion, because he's one of the cooler heads that makes sense in the industry, as opposed to these ponies and donkey unicorns and crazy. There are crazy Xbox people that is like, okay, you went too far. But I think we need those guys to counteract the whole spectrum of the ponies too. So I'm not gonna totally say, hey, alright, I'm just be like, calm down, guys. Muzzle? You want the muzzle? I'll put the mad booty muzzle on you. But anyway, I want to know what Paris and Godfrey, Danny have to say about that. But yeah, that's it. I'm out of gas. Preach. I'll talk to y'all next one.